Hey guys, Aaron here again with the Duke. Hey, we're getting into it today. We're talking a little bit about fantasy football 2020, quarterbacks, where to target, which round. Right now, we got a good quarterback that we're looking at, and that's Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. Hey, look, Josh Allen, he really put up good numbers last year. He finished quarterback 6. We see him definitely finishing around that range again this season, if not even higher. So he's definitely somebody that we want to look at as a receiver or as a quarterback. His rushing QB, hey, that is just a cheat in fantasy football. Rushing quarterbacks are a cheat. And right now, there's really only about 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the league that put up enough rushing yards or touchdowns from the quarterback position that make them worth drafting for that. One's Lamar Jackson. Obviously, number 2 is Josh Allen. Hey, Josh Allen finished second behind Lamar Jackson last season in rushing yards from quarterback. So that's definitely somebody that we want. It's a safe target at quarterback. He's going to put up those same consistent points week to week with those rushing stats, and that's something we like. He's definitely a safe player, a safe quarterback. It allows us to take more risk at those other positions in our depth chart through the fantasy football draft and season, that we can try and get those big boom players and those big receivers out there, like possibly a Marquise Hollywood Brown out there. That's definitely somebody that we could put on our roster with a target like Josh Allen, because we know that Josh Allen's floor is going to stay pretty high, pretty level, and we can take more risk at those other positions where quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers will put up 30, 40 points a week, but then they're also known to put up only 3 or 4 a week and have an off week. You're not really going to find that with Josh Allen, all right? Josh Allen's going to give you a consistent, possibly 10 at the lowest, but he should be, pushing over that 15 to 18 points per week, and some weeks can get you 25 to 30. And that's just a good, consistent, what we want from a quarterback to build our roster around, all right? The addition of Stefon Diggs really should help this season. Now, it usually takes 2 years for that quarterback and that wide receiver situation to work out. So we don't see Stefon Diggs as really that large of a target to hit this year. John Brown, that offense, should be on all of your targets this year as far as drafting. They'll be working together that second season. They should be able to put up a lot this year, but Stefon Diggs will take a lot of that heat from the defenses. They'll have to really focus in on him as being that star wide receiver now up there, which should leave other players on this team to be more open coming into this year, which would help Josh Allen out. All right, hey, Frank Gore being gone, I think this actually helps Josh Allen, because they're going to get down there this season. They don't want to use Singletary in the red zone, all right? They didn't last season. He's a between-the-20s rusher. Now, they brought in the rookie Moss, and that's what they want to use him for, is that Frank Gore roll down the red zone. But, with the coronavirus and everything going on right now, I think a lot of these rookie running backs are going to take a minute to get settled and get into that zone. And there's no one better than to be able to rush that ball in the red zone than Josh Allen himself. Hey, last year he finished with 9 rushing touchdowns as a quarterback. We actually seen him being able to push over 10 this year, which can really help him bolster up, from that 6th position into the top 5 at quarterback this year if he can put up the same stats. All right. Last year he run a good stat line, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He's pretty good with the ball. I think everybody knows that he tries to push the ball downfield with that big rocket arm of his, and sometimes it can bite him. That's where the 9 interceptions comes from. But compared to other quarterbacks, that's really not that bad of a stat line that we're looking at, especially for where we're drafting him at. So if he can keep that ball security, which isn't too bad, he can still rush the ball and get those touchdowns. We definitely see an uptick in touchdowns this season from passing and rushing, which should definitely take him from that 6th position into the top 5 by the end of the year. Hey, John Brown, Cole Beasley, we talked about it earlier. Those quarterback to receivers, that takes a year or 2 to build. We usually don't see that pan out the first season, all right? So they're moving into their 2nd year with those wide receivers. The addition of Stefon Diggs, that'll take some time to adjust. But John Brown, Cole Beasley, and Josh Allen should definitely be able to work this system out this year and put up better and more efficient numbers than last year, all right? They should be able to push the ball downfield with John Brown, and they definitely should be able to push the ball down the field with Stefon Diggs, or at least be able to. So we look for some big play potential from Josh Allen out of the passing this year, which, if you're in a league that recognizes those big plays, definitely a great target to go after. All right. Tight end use in Buffalo, they're usually blocking, and whether it's for the rush or even the pass, the tight ends don't get used that much. So these receivers are definitely good receivers to target this year, as well as Josh Allen being able to have that second chemistry with them on that 2nd year this year. So we like what Buffalo's been able to do. They're not a high charge, high flying offense, but they do try to push it down the field more than I think most people think they really do. You know, Buffalo secretly is a big play offense. They like to throw the deep ball. They like to rush between the 20s. They like to get down in the red zone with it, but they like to open that up and be able to push it down deep. That's why they brought in Stephon Diggs. We know that Stephon Diggs can go deep. We also know that John Brown can go deep, and Cole Beasley is probably one of the safer slot receivers on short yard passes. So he's consistent, week-to-week quarterback. He has the boom. He has the safe. He's probably one of the safest other than Lamar Jackson as far as quarterbacks go this season. You really shouldn't be too upset or let down this year with him as your starting quarterback, all right? He's going to get you at least 15 points per game as long as you can construct your roster to fit that. He could also give you those booms and get you 35 points a game this year and put you over the top to get into those more win situations to help you get to the playoffs. So, hey, looking at him right now, his expectation for this year, you know, we're kind of going with about Deshaun Watson in Houston last season. He finished quarterback 4. You know, we're seeing him going off the board kind of around that mid 6th to 7th round. That's a good place for him, and definitely a good place to be able to take, you know, that quarterback that could finish in that top 5 this year, which is where we see him. So, hey, definitely go after this guy. If you can get him in that 6th round, you know, if you take the thing is with these rosters, if you take a tight end early, we don't recommend going with a Josh Allen and a quarterback kind of still early in that 6th round. You definitely need to construct your roster with those running backs and those wide receivers, and you really do lose that value when you start going after the quarterback and the tight end early. So if you're going to do one quarterback or one tight end early, that's fine, but we don't recommend doing both. So if you're going to take that tight end early, you're definitely going to wait for those quarterbacks. If this is going to be your early quarterback and then you're still going for a tight end, we definitely say go after Josh Allen after the running back or the quarterback, you know, streak has already gone. Because once, you know, Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson start going off the board, you know, those quarterbacks are going to start going fast. So you can definitely target Josh Allen on when he's going to be taken and be able to pick him up. All right. So, hey, guys, that's what we got on Josh Allen. He's a big target for us this year. We like where he's going in drafts and what he's able to produce. You know, finishing quarterback number 6 last year, we should see an uptick in numbers, and hopefully he can break that top 5 quarterback this year in fantasy football. But hey, thanks for tuning in. Hit like, subscribe, and we'll see you later.